If there was one thing that I could go back and tell my younger self to do, it would be this. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. What this essentially tells us is that self-belief is really important in getting things done. It's not all too often that we genuinely believe we can't do something and then try to do it anyway. Most of the time, we use our self-belief of not being able to do something to kind of give us a pass on even trying. For instance, maybe it's a belief that you can't find a new job. Like, you know you're unhappy in your current role, you don't really want to be there anymore, but because you keep telling yourself that you can't find a new job, that builds a self-belief of not being able to find a new job, which means you never take the actions to try and find a new job. You never update your CV, or go and apply for any roles, or maybe even go looking for open roles. Because you believe you can't do it, you don't end up doing it. Or if we think about it in terms of like a health focus, maybe you've told yourself, nope, I can't lose weight, or I can't exercise, or I can't eat healthy. By telling ourselves that we can't do something, we're setting up that self-belief that we can't do the thing, so we give ourselves a pass from even trying to do the thing. There is a way to combat this though. Because self-belief is so incredibly important in letting us get things done, or even just giving ourselves the shot of trying to get things done, if we tackle the problem of self-belief, then we'll be able to tackle the problem of getting stuff done. But how do we build self-belief? Now, I know you can do hard things. You've done hard things before, so it's not like you can't do anything, it's just that we very easily forget what we have done. If you've ever gotten to the end of a day or a week, or maybe even a month, and just sit there thinking, what did I even accomplish? Then the practice that we're going to talk about in this video can be so super helpful in making sure you remember the stuff you have accomplished, so that you build up an evidence log to show that you can do things. This one is called the wins or the milestones log, and not only does this help build our self-belief by having effectively a log of evidence that we have done things before, but it also just makes us feel better about ourselves. And I don't know about you, but I would like to feel better about myself. But let's have a look at what it is, how we set it up, and how we can use it to build our self-belief and get things done. All you're gonna need is something to write on and something to write with. It doesn't need to be anything fancy, it just needs to be something semi-permanent. This isn't gonna be the kind of list that we write and then scrunch up and throw out. We're gonna wanna be able to come back to this time and time again anytime we're feeling like, oh, maybe I can't do the thing. Because this is gonna be the list that says, actually, yeah, you probably can do the thing because you've done hard things and you can continue to do hard things. To start this list off though, it's just gonna need a title. You could call this your wins log, your milestones log. If you wanted to make it feel easy and approachable, you could call it a tiny wins list. Any kind of header that resonates with you and captures the idea that this is going to be a list of things that you have accomplished. You could technically call it an accomplishments list, but I find that certain terminology is going to feel like it's more weighty, like maybe you have to have things that are really big ticket items on this list because of what you've titled it. Accomplishments does that for me. If I'm thinking accomplishments, I'm thinking those big things in life that really felt like a major win, but that's not the only thing that's going to go on this list, especially if you're feeling that your self-belief is quite low at the moment. Trying to think of those big things you've been able to do might be asking for a little bit too much. Instead, what we're going to want to populate this list with is anything and everything that shows that you can do stuff. Yes, it might be big ticket things, so like, graduating college, I was able to buy my first house, I was able to land that job that I'd been dreaming about, or whatever else, but it can also just be small things as well. Maybe a win for you today is that you got out of bed, or that you brushed your teeth and you used toothpaste. For some people that might feel laughably small, but for some of us that is a really decent accomplishment. Essentially though, whatever you're going to write on this list, don't examine it with that mindset of it has to be a huge milestone thing. What we're building here is just an evidence log that you can do stuff. They don't have to be accomplishments just from today or this week or this year. You can also think further back, while wins and achievements that you have from a little bit closer to the current time are going to be a bit more powerful. If you're stuck in a self-belief rut, thinking a little further back can still be useful. Essentially, we're just building up a list that shows we can do stuff, especially because a lot of the other planning systems we have don't necessarily highlight that. Whenever you come to look at a task list or a to-do list in your regular planning system, what your eyes are actually looking for is all the stuff you haven't checked off yet. Part of the function of a layout like this is to find those things that haven't been done so that you can get them done. As soon as we color in one of these boxes or cross something off or check it off, it's like it becomes invisible to us. The purpose of a list like this though is to highlight the things that have been done, mainly as a way to give ourselves credit for having done things. Because most of us don't use a layout like this, that's why we get to the end of the day or week and wonder, where did the time go? What did I accomplish? These are the things we've accomplished. Technically speaking, you can totally set up a wins log just for a day or a week if you want to. In this example though, I'm thinking a little further afield, thinking a little further back. So stuff that I have on my list are things like graduating university. That happened quite a while ago, but it is still something that I did. It was a hard thing that I accomplished, and I can be proud of that. It means that next time I undertake some kind of like learning program, if I'm worried that, oh, it's gonna be too hard, like maybe I can't do that, I can remind myself, no, you have done something like this before. You can certainly do it again. Other items that I have on this list are things that are related to the channel. For instance, growing our community, starting a podcast with one of my planner pals, getting to work with brands I love. Those are all really exciting. But then I also have what some might consider to be smaller things, like babysitting my niece. That is the first time that I have ever babysat somebody quite that small, and also the first time I changed a nappy. So now, if I'm put in that situation again, I can remember, you have done this before. You have done hard things. You can do hard things. And it helps me build that self-belief. Just to show you that you can and are allowed to put small things on here, I'm also going to put down that I brushed my teeth with toothpaste today. Mainly because even though I've got the habit of brushing my teeth in the morning down, I still find it really hard to remember to do it in the evening if I don't have some kind of external reminder. Just because other people might think it doesn't count as a win does not mean you can't put it on your list. This list is just for you. They don't ever have to see it. So if you feel a little bit silly about writing it down, but it is still something you're proud of, just write it down on the list. As said though, it is important to have this somewhere that you can refer back to, because anytime you start to get that self-doubt creeping back in, you come back to this list, read over all of the things that you've accomplished, and remember, no, actually, I can do things, and here's the proof that I've done things before. If you enjoyed this video, then you'd probably also enjoy our weekly newsletter, where I share one actionable tip each week to help you be more productive, organized, and get stuff done. You can sign up for that one using the QR code on screen, or hit the first link in the description box. Now as we're feeling a little bit better about ourselves and the fact that we have done hard things and we can continue to do hard things, we can actually use this to propel us forward on our goals. I have a simple one-page layout that I use for all of my goals, and if you wanted to use that one to approach yours, then this video is the next one to check out. In that one I go through each of the fundamental sections for planning and managing my goals, so click or tap on that one and I'll see you over there.